me drunk. He would never see me passed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would never see me that way. So, you know what I mean? That's why I say the generational curse stops with me.
So you talk you not only do you talk to your children, or in this case, you were talking to your son, but you talk to them with a a level of authority and knowing about like you let them know what generational curses are, and then you also let them know and affirm them in the fact that they won't be following your path. It will not be with them.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Um,
Wow.
it's just the way things are right now. Um, it's just as parents, I mean, we want the best for our kids. We don't
Hmm.
never want to see them take that dirty
Right.
road.
Hmm.
Um, if, if you think otherwise, man, we need to readjust. You know what I mean? Reevaluate the way
Hmm.
we're thinking.
Yeah. Hmm.
Because we don't want our kids to make the same mistake we made. It's
Yeah.
just plain and simple.
Yeah.
If anything, they say the best gift you could ever give your kid is knowledge.
Mm. Wow. Wow. Oh, I love that, man. I love that. For me, for someone that wants like 8 children, that's why I ask these questions because I truly, genuinely, you know, don't want my kids to be like my dad. And again, it ended with me, but now I have to make sure I carry that torch, for them as well and hand it off to them. Sharquita, you got anything to say to that as well? Like, what things are you saying to your children about mental health, or is that a conversation at all?
For my 8-year-old, no, she's like one of those happy, like, oh, whatever, whatever. But I have a 14-year-old, and she'll be 15 next month on the 3rd, and she breaks my heart because she's not with me. She's still over there with my parents. So much stuff is going because it's her first year in high school.
Mhm.
She was so afraid to go to high school because of the peer pressure, and like we grew up in an age where there was no social media when we were in middle school, high school.
Yeah.
It's like if you get bullied at school and you go home and you get on Facebook or TikTok and they're still bullying. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. Hmm.
they're writing things about you. And then there's a girl, she's actually her cousin. And we go to high school, everybody starts clicking up. So she's on a dance team and my daughter is in band. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? So she
Yeah.
thinks she's better than my daughter. And her grandmother is active in church. So she says things that are not true about like trying to say that my daughter and her cousins, and they're all cousins, are the
Mm.
ones that doing the bullying. And she's putting Bible scriptures. And it's just like burning my daughter because I teach my children, the Bible and everything like that. I teach them about Jesus. I teach them how to pray. And it just blows my mind that this little girl is really trying to be a victim when she's a bully. Like she thinks she's better because in high school, like I said, they click up. My
Yeah.
daughter I just found out she cuts herself. I cried. So she was like, "Do you want to see?" Because she cuts herself on her thigh. And she said she'll do it. And then she's like, "Why did I do that?" Like she'll snap out of it. And I said, "That's God snapping you out of it because whatever dark road the enemy is trying to take you down." Well, she had long hair to her past her waist, and she just cut it all off to like this long. Mental health,
Yeah.
just dealing with stuff like that. And I tell her when you have a calling on your life, because a thief is not gonna rob an empty house. I can promise you that. Like all the stuff I've been through in my life, it was all preparation for what I'm dealing with now. Even the fact like I have a horrible relationship with my mother, but it's not because it's my fault.
Yeah.
It's this jealousy thing. And for the longest, I was like, I don't even have anything. Like I live with them,
Yeah.
But what's inside of me is the one thing I feel like she didn't want me to ever realize that something different was about me. So she made it her life mission for me to never figure it out. But
Mm.
because I was so isolated when I was 12, they didn't let me do
Mhm.
anything. One day, God started speaking to me, and I thought I was going crazy. I was like, oh, I'm talking to myself, like, let me stop. I'm punished. I'm confined to this bedroom. All I know are these baby blue walls,
Mhm.
and he said, I like asked me for something. And I didn't read the Bible, but so many times God will give me scripture or give me passages from the Bible, and I never read it before. So when he asked me to ask him for something, I said, well, I just want to sing. And I kid you not, like 3 or 4 days later, he woke me up. Just like middle of the night, like 3 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, sing to me. And I was like, I can't sing. He was like, just sing to me. And I opened my mouth and I started to sing. And the voice that came out of my mouth scared me because I couldn't sing when I was afraid. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And it's been times where I would be so punished. Like there were fine reasons. Like I can give my report card and have the honor roll, but have a C. on my report card, I'm punished for 2 weeks. Because even though it's still an honor roll,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying? Or if I have like the honor roll and is I have like 2 B's and the rest of the day, you could have did better than that. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
What? My daddy quit school in the 6th grade. You see what I'm saying? They forced me to go to college. I only wanted to go to cosmetology school. Like, I didn't care anything. I didn't have a plan B, C, D, or E.
Yeah.
So I went to cosmetology school when I was 33 years old
Wow.
with 2 kids. And
Wow.
I went and I finished. And even when I went to state board, that was God, because the stuff that you're supposed to take like 50 minutes to do, I'm doing it in 15 minutes. And it wasn't me moving my hand. The Holy Spirit was taking the test. Or like when I was taking the written part of the test, I froze up and it was like, I was like, oh my God, I can't remember anything that I learned. It's C, B. Like, gave me the answers. And I'm like, oh my, because it was Nick. I was like destined to do that.
Mm.
And then I remember I started my hair care line and I had to do a slideshow and it's like people before and after pictures and stuff. And one of the girls in the program, she was like, wait, that's real? And they was like, yeah, like she really do. And she couldn't believe, like, wait, that's you, that's real? I'm like, yeah. And it
Mm.
was just like, wow, God, like I'm supposed to be here. That's why my parents fought me so much, because like I said, a thief ain't go, like they were in the empty house, they're gonna always push you away from where you're supposed to go.
Mm. Oof. My goodness.
And I'm just so blessed and so thankful that had it not been God that introduced himself to me when I was 12, which is when all the stuff started. And then my mom, she met my dad when she was 12. So it's like a generational curse, like what he was talking about. And 12 years old. And I remember when my oldest daughter was 12, that's when we finally moved out of that house, when she was 12. Because 12 is the age of accountability in the Bible. You're an adult in the Bible at 12.
Mm.
And the Bible says that by the time Jesus was 12, he knew God.
Wow.
Oh no. So it's like, it's something about the age 12. And for the longest, I was like, I know it's something, but I don't quite know what it is, but that's what it is.
Mm.
It's like when you turn 12, you are like an adult.
Mm.
So that's why the struggle for a lot of people happens, or these things will happen, life-changing things happen to them when they're 12 years old.
Mm.
Because of the walk that Jesus had with God, the enemy is an imitator because he can't create anything and he perverts everything. So it's always like the exact opposite. Like whatever God stands for, the devil's going to automatically go with the exact opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's deep. That's super heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually kind of what Art had said too. Art, the time when you came back and you told us what was going on with with you and things like that. You were like, the devil almost had your golden boy. Like that same statement. It's a level of which it seems like you both have mentioned, a level in which, like, Satan, or you can even put it as far as going like your enemies or other people around you who may see you doing good, who may see you thriving. Oftentimes when you're doing good, when you're on the right road, when you're on your passion, or when you're on your calling, so many things will try to take you from that. That's probably when you know that you are doing the right thing. When there are things around you that are trying to make you do the wrong thing, when you feel that pressure, that's when you typically know you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, most definitely. Like I forgot what I think Denzel Washington said it.
Mm.
He said when you're doing good, there's so many things that are trying to break you down, but when you are doing terrible and you're at your worst, the devil ain't even bothering
Ain't even bothered.
you.
Right
Yeah,
where he wants you when you're down and out. That's right where he wants you. So
yeah,
you're in a state at that point.
yeah. It's like
And
when
I
you're
tell
doing so
people,
good,
it's like,
everything's coming
I've
around.
been through I've
Mhm.
been through so much, like as far as like that, going through those trials and tribulations. I said, the devil, he leads so many people to Christ. If you would have never scared me, I would have never ran to God. If you would have never did these things to me, I would have never opened up a Bible. I said, look, Lucy over there winning souls for Jesus. And it's the truth though. Like he leads so many souls to Christ because you come messing with people, you scare them into going that way. So you probably would have had me, because my parents didn't tell me they loved me till I was 36. And it's only because I made them realize y'all never told me y'all love me, but y'all always told me everything that you feel like I couldn't do. I wasn't gonna be able to do. I better not do. But you didn't say I love you. So if you never like verbally say I love you, and all I know is get slapped in the face, you pulling my hair, because I'm 18. You know what I'm saying? I got an 8 o'clock curfew and I'm 18 years old. I can't even be outside, but my little brother and sister is still outside because of the way that I look. I didn't choose, the body that I ended up with, that's your genetic. But if you would have never been praying on my mama when she was 12 and you was 21, I wouldn't have to go through none of this. Because now you scared. I didn't ask for this. It's crazy. Just the way I had to grow up and just be so isolated. They never gave me a talk about anything. And if it was a talk that would happen to a girl in life, they wouldn't give me the proper terminology for it because it's almost like my mom is too afraid or too embarrassed to talk to me about it. So when I was 17 years old, I had no idea what intercourse was. My little sister gave me the talk. They condemned me for the way that I looked, and they put my little sister in modeling for the way that she looked. And it built up her self-esteem and built up her confidence. She went to college. She went to LSU, and she has a degree in fashion design. So that's what they led her to. They ended her. But I dropped out of college when I was 22 years old. I didn't finish because they were checking my grades. Why you got a C in sociology? Why you? And I'm just like, how are you checking my grades? Like, how do you know how to do? I don't even know how to do that. Just always riding me like that. Like I can't. I feel like at 38, there's nothing that I could do that's gonna make them people happy. So I'm no longer gonna live and worry about what they think about me. It's all about what I think about me and how I feel about myself. And this year, it's still January, and I had so many opportunities and so many blessings. Like I ain't never been in a magazine before. Let not the cover of have the opportunity to be on the cover of Ink magazine. I got 6 tattoos.
Yeah. But you're right. See?
Like what? Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm 38 years old. I got kids.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And you can do it. That's the thing. You can do it. And sometimes it could be your own people. That's the worst part, right? Sometimes it could be your parents, your mom.
You can't do anything, but they forgot to say I love you. Like, you know what? That you took me being a little girl growing up. I feel like it's nothing that I can ever do in life that's gonna make you proud. Because even if I have the honor roll, you still punish me.
Yeah. Exactly.
I let you take my dreams away from me and went to college, and you still came to campus to slap me because I answered the phone when you called. Like, I went to Southern University in 2004 when Southern was like in its prime, and I did not answer my cell phone that I bought with my money with a job that I got myself. You know what I'm saying? And they really drove from Patterson, Louisiana to Baton Rouge, an hour-and-a-half drive to come and try to whoop me in front of all the Black people.
Yeah.
When she was 19, she was pregnant with her second kid. You see what I'm saying? And even like times were different. No, it wasn't because my daddy went to jail for what he did to my mama twice. They just didn't have a title called sex offender back then. But that's exactly. I thank God that it worked out, but that's hard. Like if like I have a daughter that's taller than me and she got a woman body and she's 14. I would want to experience like what my grandmother had to live. But I'll tell you what, you ain't going to jail. You ain't gonna make it to the jail, baby. You gonna make it to the mortuary though.
I hear you.
I ain't gonna punish my baby. I'm gonna punish that dude. Like
No, I get it. I get it. But again, I love what you're saying. I love, what you're bringing into the conversation. How you're bringing into the conversation your experiences. The childhood matters. The childhood, how how you're raised, as a child, that affects your mental health. That affects how you operate. That affects so many different things. And so many people and parents, I feel like, run away from the discussion of mental health. We don't want to talk about it. We don't even want to. You nothing's wrong with you. That's typically how it is, right? Nothing's wrong with you. You're my son. Nothing's wrong. Like
they did it to me. Like like okay, well, how did it make you feel when it was done to you? Because that's exactly how I feel that it's being done to me now.
Exactly. And that's the thing. That's why I asked that question. How often do you all talk to your children about mental health, or is it even a discussion?
My baby, I thank God that she's so comfortable to talk to me that she showed me her stories.
That's good.
She talks to me and we talk about it. But what makes her want to stay with my parents is the brainwashing. The stuff that they did to me, they're doing it to her, and they trying to paint me in a negative light when there's absolutely nothing wrong with me as a person. There's absolutely nothing wrong with me as a parent. It's just a jealousy kind of thing, and we can't control you no more. So we just gonna take the kids and we gonna control them. But when the little sister is the one that snapped out of it, like, you know what, my mommy ain't do me nothing. I'm going home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it just blows my mind because even in that moment when my daughter did pretty much shave her, like cut all her hair off her head, she did it with scissors because she didn't have access to clippers. And I'm still like trying to explain, like, I wasn't even here. I don't live here. So this happened on your watch. You know, like I'm telling it to my mom, but this is happening on your watch. And she's like, yeah, because you did it. All you do is fuss. I said, I don't fuss. I said, why you think I fuss? I said, you thinking about Sharquita from 9 years ago when I first had Riley and I was depressed. That could have been what you call it after you have children.
Post-traumatic, yeah, PTSD. Mm-hmm.
You still just wanted me to do all your work for you and you getting the glory for everything that you forcing me to do that I don't want to do. You know, and the reason why I allow my child to stay there is because of mental health. I'm not going to force you and make you come back because there's a time I can come home and it could be a pool of blood on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So I let you stay over there, not because I want you there. It's because I feel like the state that your mind is in now because of everything that you experience and even like daddy issues and stuff. Stay over there where you're comfortable because I don't want to come home from work one day and I'm calling your name and I see you on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's You never want that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me, and I'm glad you brought that up. And Art, man, I'll even toss this to you, man. But again, you don't necessarily have to answer this because this can be a bit personal. But since Sharquita kind of took it there, I think it's a great thing to like, I guess, ask at least to keep it on the radar. But like, I guess like for you, Art, and your children, hitting at what Sharquita said, do you also feel like maybe there's moments where you do start to, in a sense, not worry, but at the same time, maybe become concerned with the age, the generation, that kids are being brought up these days and their mental health? Do you ever find yourself worrying about the mental health of your children because of the generation that they're in?
Yeah, of course, man. Kind of hard not to.
Yeah.
Because you always think about it, like what was I doing at 12, and look at what she's doing at 12, and it's a totally different ball game than when I was 12 and when she's 12 right now. Like, she basically looks like how Shaquita said that my daughter almost looks like a damn grown woman. You know what I mean? And she's only 12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's only 12. You know what I mean? And when I was 12, kids didn't look that way.
Yeah, they didn't look that way. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And definitely, the way they're growing up, man, it's kind of crazy. I just tell my daughter every day, someone talk to me, you need somebody to talk to, let you know what's going on or what road to take or how to handle a certain situation because things ain't what they used to be, not back when we were coming up.
Yeah.
So I definitely always welcome her to come talk. I try to stress it hard enough. Because I remember when I was at that age, I didn't want to talk to my parents. You know what I mean? I was afraid to, you know what I mean? Because, my father was an alcoholic and so was my mother, and then I didn't know how they were going to react. And my daughter has me sober, you know what I mean? And somebody we should talk to and lean in and talk, you know what I mean? We could just go ahead. Hey, let's just talk about it. Just to throw that out there.
That's good.
Yeah, but so it's kind of crazy now, but I'm always open ears with my kids, but when my daughter, my son, he's still too young to realize what's going on. But definitely my daughter, though. I'm keeping an eye on her.
That's good. That's good. And Sharquita, thank you because you sparked a level of conversation about mental health I've never had ever in my groups, and that is on like you turned it toward children and being a child. And that's my. I'll actually let this be the last question. But hopping back to you, Sharquita, what would you say would be maybe 3 things you would tell a parent, or even those who are inspiring to be a parent like me? Like, what would you tell those people? What would be 3 tips that you would tell those people that could help encourage a healthy relationship of communication in regards to mental health between parent and child?
The first thing would be to listen to your child and not talk over them or talk at them. And the second one would actually be piggybacking off of the first thing. Talk to them, listen to them. You don't never want to, it's not a dictatorship when you're parenting. And the thing with me as a parent, because of the things that I went through in the house with my parents, I don't want any of my children to have to go through that or feel like they don't have a voice. I hear you. Talk to me. If you feel like me as a mother, if I'm doing something wrong, tell me. If you feel like it's something I could be doing better, tell me, because I ain't never been no parent before. You know what I'm saying? And my parents will never admit that to me. Like, I really don't know what I'm doing. And I tell it to my daughter. I say, I really don't know what I'm doing. It's like I wake up every day and I be like, I guess this is how it goes. And then most of the time I just do the opposite of what my parents did to me because I know I didn't like that. You know, the third thing that I would say is don't raise your children in the Lord. Not saying you got to be extra religious, because religious people didn't even like Jesus. So it's not even about being overly religious, but you teach them about God and you introduce them to the things of God and the things that it says that you can do. And if you have that moment, even when you're not comfortable to talk to me, talk to God. Because praying ain't just, God ain't no genie. It's not just, hey, you know, I really want a car. You know, God ain't got no husband. You know, like, it's not that. He's not a genie. He's your father. He's your heavenly father. Talk to him.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I talk to Jesus and talk to God. And I keep journals, and I've been journaling since, you know, dealing with my mental health. I've been keeping journals consistently since 2017. And in moments when I feel like, oh my God, I'm drowning in, you know, and then I'll go back and open up a journal from 2017 when I'm living the things that I was asking for, you know, in 2017. So I see what God is doing and how he's moving in my life. And it blows my mind because it's like, what am I sad for? I'm further than where I was in 2017. You know, and so those are the three things that I would do. I would listen to my children, I would talk to them, and I would introduce them to God. Because if you don't want to talk to me, because it's all about the dialogue and making them feel comfortable. Because I got a daughter with scars on her legs and no hair. Like, talk to me.
That's good, man. That's whoo. All right. You want to bring us on home, man. 3 things. Maybe those 3 things that you would isolate out in terms of a healthy communication of mental health between a parent and the child.
To be honest, man, she hit the head on pretty much on all sleeves, you know. Because we definitely want to have that open communication. Communication is just going to be key, because you never know what's bothering your kid, what's going on in their lives. You know what I mean? We're not there. We wish we could be there 24/7, but we can't.
Yeah.
You know, we got to let them make their own decisions and just try to guide them the best we can. And just remember, you know what I mean? Every decision we make, there's going to be consequences. Just hope you make the great one. You know, hope you make the goodest one. If not, we just have to figure out a way to keep on improving on making better decisions. And then, of course, you know, taking one step closer to the Lord, you know, especially when times get rough, digging that word, you know, try to stay glued. Try to stay glued into it, you know, raising them into, you know, around the church or, you know, you know what I mean? Just seeing you know what I mean? Going through the church, stuff like that. But most definitely, just like as you said, we're not perfect either. You know, we make mistakes. I should have handled that better. You know what I mean? And one thing I would definitely say, for a parent, before you even speak about any type of situation, go over what you're about to say, because whatever you say will affect them 10 times hard. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure that it's right. And don't make decisions off of bad emotions. Not in the moment. You know what I mean? Hey, some bad shit happens. Hey, take 10 minutes. Think about it. Then address it, because we mess around, say some bad stuff in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
Now you done dig yourself a deeper hole.
Yeah.
You know? Most definitely on that one. Because therez times I reacted, you know, I mean, even sober, you know what I mean? Words just, you know, I cuss right out the get go. Like, man, what the fuck? Hold on, you got me fucked up, you know? Yeah. I was like, man, hold on, this is not the best way I should have went about it. You know what I mean? Should have been the best way I went about it, but you know, so most definitely kick back, observe, and then apply.
That's good. That's good. That's incredible, man. I mean, what both of you have said and shared. Again, this was so amazing. Larissa, she had to hop off, I know, but she started us out or started the call out, and she's been going through a lot. But to hear her transparency, Sharquita, you hop on here and the stuff you poured out on me in the DMs, you shared here, and your transparency, you came on here with such amazing words. Like, I mean, I was getting it in the DMs, but you didn't pour it on here, and that just makes it all the more better because now everyone is able to see and hear your testimony and to see how you are now with your children compared to your parents. Although it's unfortunate, but it's also a fortunate thing, right? You're doing the opposite of what they do. And then Art, you coming in here, man, and again, as I told you, I'm always looking up to you as a father because again, I see a lot of what you do, and I'm like, man, I want to do that. But man, I want to be there for my children. I really admire you as a father. And like, you know, to be able to hear what you all are instilling in your children, the mindsets that you both have behind mental health as parents. That's not something I hear a lot of parents talk about. So just hearing you both talk about it is an honor, and I thank y'all for sharing.
It's one thing was kind of crazy too.
Yeah.
Before we had like my daughter, she said right before I came here to the gym, she said, "Dad, why are you going to the gym right now? You know, look at the And I said, "Well, look, I'm just trying to be accountable for myself because I'm trying to teach her about accountability."
Yep.
And then I said, "Look, I showed her my watch. And I said, I only got 4,000 steps. I said, Dad was lazy today. I said, but I'm keeping myself accountable. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna go get on the treadmill. I'm gonna get my steps in. I'm gonna come do everything I gotta do. So when you got something to do, you're gonna do it. This is you gotta hold yourself accountable." So that's another thing I was saying. And then one great thing I wanted to mention to Sharquita that is I'm gonna have to use that one. The devil won't break into an empty home. I love that one. Ooh,
That's good.
That one slaps right there. That was a banger right there.
That
I
was
like
a banger.
That one. Yeah, I like that one. I was like, ooh, I gotta use that
dropping
one.
gems. Yeah, dropping gems. Yeah.
I was like, man, I'm gonna never have to use that one.
If there's nothing in there, he's not coming. He's not gonna break in. He's not gonna mess with you. He got to be right where you need you at already.
Right.
This is off the radar. If it's someone depressed, feeling helpless, or just wilding out, he already got you in set. So there's no need to, right? And I learned that from the old people, like the old heads. They ain't right because me in the midst of going through my mental health battles over the years, I take little things like that people have poured into me and make me it helps. Yeah. Well, you know what? It must be something special about me because that's true. He wouldn't mess with me if I wasn't supposed to do something important in the world. He wouldn't mess with me. So I gotta have some. And the fact that since I was a child and I'm 38 and he's still like, yeah, because I'm like, I gotta be important. I gotta have a huge purpose. And so now it's my life mission to make sure that not only do I live my purpose and fulfill what God wrote about me in the book of life, but to make sure that my children make it. And then all the other people in the world that God's assigned me to that I'm supposed to help, I'm gonna make sure that they get to where they're supposed to be.
Y'all, hey, this so good, right? I know. Like this y'all came in headstrong. And again, this is my Let's Just Talk Fitness group, but mental health is a part of fitness. That's why I wanted to talk about it because mental health is a part of fitness. I've been talking to a lot of people lately that have been going through some serious stuff mentally, and I wanted to make sure we talked about it. I want to make sure that we hopped in here today. We typically talk about physical stuff, but I want to make sure that the mental is not forsaken because truly, I believe that's probably, if not the most important part of fitness, your mind. If your mind ain't there, what
mentally fit as well. Yeah.
What does it matter if you're physically? If your mind ain't there, your physical won't be there. So, y'all, I thank y'all. Sharquita, all right, man, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all so much, man. These calls are amazing. Sharquita and Art, I'm not sure if y'all following each other, but if not, y'all should follow each other.
It's my first time seeing him, speaking with him.
Yeah, no, that's all I done. I haven't met her before.
Okay. Yeah,
That's like a Dion posted something in the public group
in the
too,
public.
and I was like,
He did.
I was
Yeah,
like, holy crap! I said, man, I ain't met this guy either.
yeah. Have you met Dion? You met Dion before?
No, I sure haven't.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
From
Go ahead.
different faces.
What you say?
I said it was good. It's good to see some different faces tonight.
It is. It's always good. That's why I love doing this, and I love including the public group. Again, I try to include them with the private group every once a month. So it's good to have y'all come in, man, and again to show that love, even though it's separate groups. At the same time, everyone that's in the private is in the public. So Art's in the public too. I'm gonna make sure that I add. I'm gonna try to create a group when I get off of here of all the people that were on tonight. So Larissa, Art, and then I'll add you in there too, Sharquita. Do you follow me on Instagram?
I don't know. I think just Facebook and Snapchat, but I can find you on Instagram. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, add me on there because I'll put you in a group and then y'all can add it. Y'all can follow each other, from there.
Yeah, that's gonna be so cool. Because I was telling you the other day that I'm actually taking classes to become a personal trainer. So to see him in here, like working out,
he's a personal trainer.
I used to be so dedicated, and I had lost 65 pounds, and then I was like not fibroids, cancer and stuff like that I was dealing with, and then I ended up after the doctors told me there's no way that I can conceive a child naturally, and I got pregnant with this little redhead right here. Like just how's that happen? That's how I was when I wait, what? Let me see. What's really going on? And so I'm a living, walking testimony. And for me to be able to have another baby at 30, that's a blessing to me after having cancer twice. I got my first tumor when I was 10. You know what I'm saying? So it's always little things over my I deep down Robin House. If you're attacking my health, then what is it about my health? And finding out the way that God uses me, I can take the sickness from a person, and like my nephew was born deaf in one ear. I just tapped his ear, I said, "Hey, you in the ear? Go with your friend." And he just kind of blinked out, and then he looked at me because he never heard, before. He was like, "I can hear you." I said, "What?" He said, "I can hear you," because he had a deformed ear. One ear was fine, and the other ear he couldn't hear at all, and it was deformed. He said, "I can hear you in my little ear." And I'm sitting there in shock, like, what's going on? I said, well, you don't tell nobody that I did that because I didn't do that. When people ask you what you say, Jesus Christ healed you. And then not even 6 months later, he's singing in the choir at his church. And we didn't know he can sing.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
Miracles, a miracle anointing. The reason why the fight is always so hard, this was in me. If God will use me to open up a deaf ear. What? And I'm just this little chick from Patterson. I just told you about the bears.
We got a saying at my church talking about what can he do?
What can he do? Yeah.
What can he do?
That's why I was always dealing with sicknesses and stuff as a child, and always going through things and having it so hard with my parents. God one day is gonna put me on the stage to speak to people about their mental health. Yeah. And I'm not ashamed of anything that I went through. And it's to the point now where my mom kind of tries to mute me a lot. She don't want me to talk about it. And she tries to rewrite her past to where it looks tasteful for her to be able to chew it. And I'm like, why you do that? I know you met my daddy when you were 12. She's like, I didn't meet you. I was 13. What, 13? You still needed a whooping because you're still a child. Or she got married May the 9th. May the 4th, and her birthday was May the 9th. She turned 18. So yeah, my mommy got married when she was 17. It's like we all know the story. We all heard it. We all we lived it. With as far as them knowing their 90s part and stuff. Y'all know stuff. But now she wants to tell people she wasn't 17, she was 18. Baby, you better be thanking God every day that he worked that out. Because my daddy could have shot my dad. My grandfather liked to hunt. He had rifles. He could have blew him away. He's, so you be thanking God every day that God worked that situation out. Yeah. They help so many kids. My mom's was an elementary school teacher, and now she teaches high school. And when she first started, she wanted to quit because she's like, them children are too womanish, and they do this and they do that. I say, well, isn't that the same thing you were doing when you were in high school? Because you thought you was grown because you had a man, a legit man. And she gets mad at me for saying it, but it's like you getting back. I don't want to call it karma because that's not in the Bible. You reaping what you sown. And it hurt, don't it? It's hard. But that's what you did to grown-ups when you were in school. Nobody couldn't tell you wasn't grown. Because she was married in high school and pregnant with me. You can't, at that point, you're a woman. You're grown. What can a teacher tell you? You don't do your homework. Don't do it. You got a husband in the bed. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so that's, and they got kids in junior high. They had a girl who had a baby at my daughter junior high graduation, and they're 13. You know what I'm saying? 13-year-olds graduated, and she's already a mother.
Yeah, yeah.
So no, you can't tell this grown woman what to do. She push a baby out just like you did. You're getting back what you did to people.
Yeah, exactly. But you reap what you sow. Reap what you sow.
Yeah, and it's always gonna be worse.
Yeah, and it's always, most of the time it is. It's a lot worse. So that's what I'm saying. This is why I think conversations like these are important, because we're sowing into each other, and I pray to reap through this sowing of each other beautiful, amazing fruit. You know, so this was
to be a part of it. It really is. Like, you came at a moment when I needed somebody. I was in the house by myself. Like, what am I supposed to do in my life? You know? So it's like you helped pull me out and gave me like the strength to go to my parents and be like, look, y'all, you're not about to, this ain't that. You know, you can't do this to me. You can't bully me. I'm an adult, and it's like my mom would even get mad at me because of what's in me, because she don't have it. So that's something else for her to be jealous. I speak in tongues. I prophesy to people. You know, I minister to people. If I wherever I can talk about God, I'm gonna talk about God. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me, and it just burns her blood.
Well, let it. Let it. Let it. Don't stop. Do not stop. Yeah, never. I mean, this is dope. Like I said, y'all gotta follow each other, because I love people to connect. I love connecting people, which is why I love doing these and making these groups. I love for people to connect. So, Sharquita, when we get off here, add me on Instagram, please. Follow me on Instagram, and then I'm gonna add us all in the group. Then from there, Art, you and Sharquita can follow each other, and we can go from there. But this is super dope, man. I love both of y'all. I hope y'all have an amazing, safe week. We're going into a new week Sunday. You know what I'm saying? But make sure that y'all, again, stay prayed up. Pray for me. I need it. And yeah, please do. Always give me your prayers. And know I'm here. Know that I'm here. Art, Sharquita, I told Larissa this. You DM me. Anytime y'all may need someone to talk to, you need an ear, I'm here. I'm here to listen. All right, y'all. Love y'all, and y'all have a good week.
Bye.
Hey, Trey. Hey, remember, go out there and get it by any means necessary, and let the gains be with you, my brother.
Let's go. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Bye.